Sometimes in life, we carry things quietly, feelings, hopes, fears, love, because we think the world won't understand. We tell ourselves it's safer to stay silent, to stay small, to stay hidden. But the truth is, hiding slowly breaks us. It dims the light inside us. And today, I don't want to live in the shadows of my own heart anymore. I want to speak with honesty, with gentleness, with love. Because what I feel, what I've been carrying, it's real, it's human. And maybe you've been carrying something too. So this is me, opening my hands, opening my heart, and choosing to stop hiding. Because love, real love, deserves to be seen. And sometimes the bravest thing we can do is simply tell the truth. I can't hide this anymore. Not from you, not from myself, not from the part of my heart that has been quietly asking to be heard for far too long. There's a moment in life when you realize that silence isn't strength. It's simply postponing the truth you were meant to speak. And I've reached that moment, standing here with the weight of unsaid words pressing against my chest, asking to finally be released into the world. For so long, I convinced myself that holding everything inside was the safest choice. That if I kept my feelings tucked away, if I stayed composed and measured, then nothing could break, nothing could spill, nothing could spiral out of control. I believed that hiding was a form of love, a form of protection, a way to keep things peaceful and steady. Maybe in some ways it worked for a while. Maybe the quiet was comfortable. Maybe the quiet was comfortable. Maybe the silence felt like a familiar room where nothing unexpected could happen. But eventually, even the quiet becomes a prison, and even silence becomes too loud to bear. There's a truth living inside me that no longer fits in the shadows. A truth shaped by emotion, by connection, by the kind of love that grows slowly and deeply until it becomes impossible to ignore. I tried to hold it back, to reason with it, to tell myself that keeping it hidden was easier, safer, more controlled. But every time I looked away from it, it only grew stronger. Every time I tried to silence it, it only echoed louder. And the more I tried to push it down, the more my heart reminded me that the things we try hardest to hide are often the things we're meant to share. I can't hide the tenderness that has taken root inside me, the softening that has changed how I breathe, how I see the world, how I understand myself. I can't hide the way certain moments still linger in my mind, long after they've passed. The way fragments of warmth resurface at random times, reminding me of the beauty I almost convinced myself I didn't need. I can't hide the pull, the emotion, the quiet blooming of something real, something honest, something deeply human. Maybe the hardest part of all this has been admitting that I was afraid. Afraid of being misunderstood. Afraid of being vulnerable. Afraid that speaking my truth would expose parts of me that I wasn't ready to face. But fear is not a good enough reason to silence love. Fear is not a good enough reason to silence love. Fear is not a good enough reason to pretend we don't feel what we feel. And the longer I tried to let fear guide me, the more I realized that it was leading me away from myself. Love changes you, even the quiet kind, even the kind you try to keep at arm's length. It reshapes you from the inside, opens doors inside your heart that you didn't even know were closed. It softens places that were once guarded, warms parts of you that once felt cold, and teaches you things about yourself that logic alone could never reveal. Love is not just an emotion, it's a transformation. And I can't hide from that transformation anymore. I've learned that love doesn't ask for perfection. It doesn't demand certainty or confidence or flawless words. It simply asks for honesty. Honesty with yourself, honesty with your heart, honesty with the world around you. And honesty, I'm learning, is a kind of courage, not the loud kind that shouts or pushes or conquers, but the quiet courage of standing open, unarmored, willing to be seen as you are. Here I am, without the careful layers I used to hide behind, without the polite restraint that kept everything at a distance. Here I am with my truth laid gently in front of me, no longer disguised, no longer diluted, no longer tucked away where no one can find it. This, because when something inside you is real, denying it becomes a quiet kind of suffering. And I don't want to suffer for silence. And I don't want to suffer for silence anymore. Music. I can't hide the feeling that has been building inside me. The feeling that love has changed the way I see the world, the way I see myself, the way I see myself, the way I understand connection. I can't hide the warmth that rises in me without warning, the softness that comes from caring deeply, the hope that appears even on the days I least expect it. It's there. It's real. It's alive. And it turns into music. And pretending otherwise feels like lying to the very core of who I am. There's a beauty in acknowledging what your heart has been trying to say, a beauty in letting the truth breathe, a beauty in allowing the truth breathe, a beauty in allowing the world to see the depth of your emotions without fear, without shame, without hesitation. Love was never meant to live in the dark. And today, I am choosing to let it step into the light. Maybe we spend so much time hiding because we think the world won't understand us, that our feelings are too much, too messy, too vulnerable to reveal. But the truth is that every person who has ever lived has known the feeling of wanting music. G, to express something that feels bigger than words. Everyone knows what it's like to love quietly, to hope silently, to hold on to something fragile and precious without knowing how to share it. We are all connected by that experience. And the moment we speak our truth, we realize we were never alone in it. I can't hide this anymore because hiding has become too heavy, because silence has become too loud, because this emotion, this love, deserves to exist freely without the chains I've wrapped around it. I can't hide the way my chest tightens when I think about what matters most to me. I can't hide the way my heart remembers the moments that shaped it, the connections that softened it, the kindness that opened it, the kindness that opened it. I can't hide the truth that love is the most human thing I have ever felt. Love doesn't demand that you be fearless. It simply asks that you be honest. And honesty, even when trembling, is still honesty. Even when quiet, it still carries power. And even when unsure, it still moves you closer to who you truly are. So I'm letting this truth breathe. I'm letting it exist without apology. I'm letting it rise to the surface where it has always belonged. I'm letting it be spoken finally fully without restraint. Because I can't hide this anymore. And because deep down, I don't want to hide it. I want to live it. I want to live it. I want to feel it. I want to honor it. This is my heart, unhidden. This is my truth, unprotected. This is my love, unmasked, and it is finally free. I've been carrying something inside me for longer than I ever intended. Something quiet, something delicate, something shaped by moments that changed me in ways I never admitted out loud. And the truth is, I've reached a point where holding it in has become heavier than sharing it. There comes a time when the heart can't stay silent anymore, when emotion pushes its way through every attempt to contain it. I've tried to keep this feeling folded neatly in the background of my life, hidden beneath gentle smiles and well rehearsed calmness. But I can't hide this anymore. What I feel has grown beyond the boundaries I once placed around it. At first, it was just a spark, one of those small, warm things you notice in passing, but try not to dwell on. Something that felt innocent, manageable, easy to tuck away. But sparks don't stay small when there's truth behind them. They grow, they expand, they find their way into unexpected parts of your life until suddenly you realize you're carrying a light you never meant to hold, yet you can't imagine letting go of. That light has been guiding me quietly, pulling me toward a kind of honesty I once feared. I've learned that the heart whispers long before it speaks. It nudges you gently at first through simple moments, soft thoughts that linger, feelings that return, memories that don't fade, even when you try to reason them away. And then when you continue to ignore it, the heart becomes louder. Not in a dramatic way, but in a persistent, undeniable way. Like a truth that refuses to be erased. I've reached that point. The quiet has become too full. The silence has become too meaningful. Music. And I can no longer pretend that what lives inside me is something small. Love, real love, is not something you can hide forever. You can try. You can convince yourself that keeping it private makes you strong, controlled, composed. You can build walls around your emotions, hoping they'll behave, hoping they'll stay where you put them. But love doesn't follow rules. It doesn't shrink for comfort. It doesn't dissolve just because fear asks it to. Love grows even in the spaces you try to protect. It finds you in moments when your guard slips, when your breath catches, when you look at the world with a softness you can't explain. And that's when you realize it's been there all along, waiting for you to acknowledge it. I can't hide the way my heart has opened slowly and unexpectedly. I can't hide the way my heart has opened slowly and unexpectedly. I can't hide the warmth that fills me when I think about the parts of life that matter most. I can't hide the hope that rises even on the days when I feel uncertain. I can't hide the truth that love has shaped me in ways I never saw coming. Something inside me has changed, quietly, deeply, irreversibly. And the only honest thing left to do is to let that truth breathe. There's a gentleness to love that I never fully understood until now. It's not loud, it's not demanding, it doesn't force itself upon you. It simply exists, soft, steady, patient, waiting for the moment you're ready to accept it. And in accepting it, you learn something profound about yourself. You learn that vulnerability is not weakness. That feeling deeply is not a fault. That letting your heart speak is not something to fear. The tenderness we try hardest to hide is often the most authentic part of who we are. I've spent so much time trying to stay controlled, believing that emotion needed to be managed, tucked away, balanced carefully like a fragile secret. But love is not a secret meant to be locked away. It's a truth meant to be lived. It's a presence meant to be lived. It's a force meant to touch the world beyond the boundaries of your own chest. And when you finally let yourself speak honestly, when you finally let yourself speak honestly, when you finally stop running from what you feel, you discover a freedom you didn't even realize you were missing. I can't hide the truth that love gives me didn't even realize you were missing. I can't hide the truth that love gives me strength I didn't know I had. Not the kind of strength that comes from resistance or endurance, but the kind that comes from openness. The kind that lets you breathe deeper, softer, the kind that allows you to show up fully, without pretending, without shrinking, without denying the most meaningful parts of yourself. Love teaches you that being open is not a risk, it's a gift. Yeah. A gift you offer not only to someone else, but to yourself. There's a certain stillness that comes with accepting your heart's truth. There's a certain stillness that comes with accepting your heart's truth. A stillness where everything feels clearer, where the noise you once struggled with fades into the background. And that stillness you once struggled with fades into the background. And that stillness you once struggled matters. You understand what you've been trying to say but couldn't find the words for. You understand why silence became uncomfortable, why hiding felt like a weight pressing against your ribs, why pretending became exhausting. The truth has always been there. Simple, real, waiting. I can't hide the softness that love has brought into my life, the way memories linger with warmth instead of longing, the way memories feel richer, deeper, more alive, the way compassion grows without effort, making you see the world with gentler eyes. Love reshapes the way you walk through life. It adds meaning to things you once overlooked. It opens doors inside you that you didn't even know were locked. And once those doors open, it's impossible to return to who you were before. Maybe the most honest thing I can say is this: hiding my emotions didn't protect me. It only kept me from living fully. It only kept me from embracing the experiences that were meant to shape me. It only kept me trapped in a version of myself that was too cautious, too controlled, too afraid of being seen. But I'm not afraid anymore. Not of being honest. Not of being vulnerable. Not of letting this feeling exist without boundaries. I can't hide this anymore because this truth is not a burden. It's a blessing. It's something that has added depth to my days, warmth to my nights, clarity to my choices. It's something that reminds me that being alive is not just about moving through the world, it's about feeling it. It's about letting your heart guide you as much as your mind. It's about embracing the beauty of connection, even when it scares you. Love has taught me that the bravest thing you can do is let yourself feel, not partially, not cautiously, not conditionally, but fully, completely, without editing the truth to make it more comfortable, without hiding the parts of yourself that carry the most meaning, without apologizing for the depth of your emotions. Love honors honesty, and honesty honors the honesty. And honesty honors the heart. I've carried it quietly tucked away where no one could see it, hoping it would stay manageable, hoping it would stay small. But it hasn't. It has grown beyond the walls I put around it, reaching into the spaces I thought were safe from emotion. And now, the only way forward is through truth. I can't hide this anymore because it's real, because it matters, because it has made me more open, more human, more connected to life than I've ever been. I can't hide the part of me that loves with depth that I've ever been. I can't hide the part of me that loves with depth, that feels with tenderness, that speaks from the heart even when my voice trembles. I can't hide the truth that love has become a part of me I don't want to silence. This is the moment where I choose honesty over fear, where I choose openness over protection, where I choose to let my heart speak without hesitation. I can't hide this anymore. I won't hide it. Not now. Not ever again.